Broiler poultry farmers are losing millions daily globally, and it's not always because of diseases. If you've ever lost birds or lost money raising broilers, in this video I want to share with you the 5 silent killers or the possible mistakes you've been making and also how to fix them. And the video is starting right now. The first mistake that most broiler poultry farmers make is poor brooding condition. See brooding like this. Brooding is not just babysitting for the chicks, it's life support. If you mess it up during the brooding condition, there is no drug or feed that will ever be able to save those batch of birds. And what are the mistakes that most farmers are making during brooding? Number one is inconsistent temperature. The second mistake they make is poor lighting. Another one is wet litter, and then overcrowding or too much space. Now for the inconsistent temperature, naturally the brooding happens within the first 7 to 14 days of the chick's life. At that particular point in time, they need warmth because they cannot be able to, the environmental temperature is not suitable for them and they cannot regulate it because they don't have feathers yet. Now the starting temperature for brooding is 35 degrees depending on the breed of chicks, and then it will gradually be reducing until they get to 14 days old. In this reduction, we are tending to reduce it to the room temperature. By that time, the chicks must have feathered to be able to help themselves use the feather to generate warmth among themselves. I personally recommend to farmers to always get thermometer to assist them in doing this, because you may not really be inside the chicks to understand what their body is going through. But if you don't have thermometer, there are other behavioral attributes you can use, like when the chicks huddle together, you know that the heat source is low and they are coming to generate heat. So what do you do as a farmer? You increase the heat. You understand? If they move away from your heat source, that means the heat source is too much. What do? You reduce the heat a little bit. But if the chicks are spread everywhere within the brooder, that's perfect. That means you are doing very well. The second brooding mistake that most poultry farmers make is wet litter. Normally I recommend that during brooding, you understand, during brooding, the wood shavings that you use on the floor should at least be 2 inches thick. You understand? Because the function of that wood shaving is to prevent them from gaining access to the direct floor. You know, the floor is always cold, so that wood shaving is like separating them like an insulation from the ground. And make sure that your drinkers are positioned in a way that they don't drop water on the floor to avoid wet litters. Another brooding mistake that most farmers make is inconsistent poor lighting. Yeah, during brooding the chicks need 24 hours light, but on a worst case scenario, minimum of 18 hours. So make sure you provide it for them regularly. The second silent mistake that most broiler poultry farmers make is around poor feeding practices. Feeding is not just all about quantity. We should also talk about the timing and quality. In timing, most broiler farmers overfeed their birds too early. And what will you notice when birds are overfed too early? You start noticing that they will start having watery droppings, as in their feces becomes more watery, and that leads to wet litter. Another thing that you can notice about overfeeding the birds too early is that the birds will increase in weight more than their leg at that particular stage in their life can carry, and that's where you start seeing leg problems. Now in quality of feed, yes, things are hard. Now most broiler farmers intentionally go for the cheaper feed, and you know, most times it's funny, quality comes with the amount that things are sold in the market. So when you go for cheaper feed, it may lead to problems that will totally devastate your investment. So this is what have worked for me and for few farmers that I've been able to work with. Okay, in feeding the birds, at least each week is, you know, how many bags of feed that the birds should consume that week. What will you do? You ration the feed. A week is 7 days. Just ration it to 7 days and know that, okay, day 1 these birds are supposed to consume this, day 2 they're supposed to consume this. Although most times on the beginning of the week, they may not be able to finish their ration, but you should know that towards the ending of the week they will be able to finish the entire ration for the week. So don't rush and overfeed your birds. And then when it comes to quality, always go for the good feed. Over here in Nigeria, feed has expiring dates of 3 months. Before you buy feed, you check the expiring dates. Make sure that the feed that you are buying is a feed that the birds will certainly exhaust it or finish it before the expiring date. And also, if you are formulating your feed yourself, make sure that the ingredients that you are using to formulate your feed are fresh, not ingredients that have overstayed. And also, try your possible best to make sure that you don't overstore or allow the feed you have in your store to stay for a very long time. The third mistake that most poultry farmers make is ignoring ventilation. Now, you may be feeding your birds with the best feed that is giving them exactly what their body needs and giving them the best preventive medications, but if your ventilation is poor, you may be losing money without you realizing it. Now, most poultry farmers seal up their poultry house to prevent cold and predators from affecting their birds, but at the end, they end up trapping heat, ammonia, and disease inside. Now, for the heat, you know that these birds grow very fast and internally they generate a lot of heat. If your ventilation is sealed up, you don't have proper airflow, heat stress will start. You see the birds start panting, they don't grow well, they don't feed well, and ultimately they die. Now, in the ammonia buildup, what happens? When these birds defecate, when they drop the feces on the floor, the feces normally break down and release ammonia. If you don't have proper ventilation, this ammonia will not be able to escape away from the poultry, and then you start seeing what? The birds will start having respiratory problems. You start noticing watery eyes, and other diseases might creep in. At the end, you may be thinking it's chronic respiratory disease or the fearful Newcastle virus, but it's just that it needs ventilation for this bad ammonia to leave the pen house. And also, in disease, if you don't have proper airflow, poor ventilation in your pen house, you know, most times you notice that you'll be having wet litter, and when you're having wet litter, it can lead to some diseases like coccidiosis that will lead you to spending money in treating the birds, and you lose money. So this is for the poor ventilation. This is just a simple thing that you can do. Number one is to make sure that look around here, make sure that everywhere is open. Yeah, we normally protect the birds with nets. This is net, you understand? And make sure that the roofing is high enough so that when the air comes in, it will circulate properly and leave. If you look up there, you see a little space in between. That's where the toxic heat, most of the heat escape from there. And also you can make use of fans, okay, to assist with the proper airflow. Yes, during the rainy season, the trampolines need to come down because of the rain. But what we do over here, that's why people live in the farm. People don't just live in the farm people live in the farm for many reasons anyway, you understand? One of them is during the rain. Like over here in my farm, when it rains, we don't always rush to close the trampolines. What we'll do is to, before it starts raining or when the rain has started, someone has to be beat by rain anyway. So what we'll do is to stay and see the direction where the rain is coming from. We'll just go and close only trampoline facing that direction. If the rain changes direction and we notice it on time, we'll come out under the rain and change, close the other trampoline where the rain is also coming from. That's why people live in the farm, okay? So don't joke with your ventilation for any reason, because you may be spending a lot of money treating things that you would have prevented if only you left proper airflow within your pen house. The fourth mistake that is a silent killer is delayed response to diseases. Most poultry farmers, most broiler poultry farmers delay to early signs that they see from their birds. When they come into the pen house, they observe that the entire pen house is quiet, and they take it as if nothing has happened. When they come in and then observe that the birds are kind of not feeding, or the color of their feces have changed, they don't take it serious. Many of them just conclude. They wait. Most farmers wait until about 50% of the birds in the pen house are weak, before they act. Some of them will feel like, okay, about 10%, 20% are not okay. Probably they'll bounce back tomorrow. And by tomorrow, birds are already dying. Okay. This delayed response, as a poultry farmer, how to fix it? I'm a vet, okay. I've been called severally during serious emergency when nothing can actually be done to save the birds. The best time to save your birds is immediately you observe what is happening. You should be as vigilant as a hawk. I don't know if you've seen a hawk flying, diving down to catch rats that it has targeted from a far distance. You should be very vigilant. Don't just enter your pen house to just feed the birds and rush out. Where are you rushing to? The birds are your investment. You should pay attention to them. Listen to the background here. Are you hearing noise? Those are birds that are making those background noise over there. Okay? If I come to the pen house and I'm not hearing this kind of noise, then something is wrong. I have to pay closer attention. If I come to the pen house and I notice that their physics have started changing consistency, the thickness, or it has started changing color, I should know that something is wrong. I don't need to wait for the entire pen to be showing that the physics have changed color. When I start seeing those patches here and there, that's an early sign. The best time to treat your birds is when you start noticing those early signs. Don't rely on that tomorrow there might be okay. Tomorrow may be too late, because the best time to treat the birds is when you notice the early sign. That's the time that you can give them medication and they will be able to drink it or eat it from their feed. Because when they are down and you now decide to start treating, many of the birds may not even taste water. They may not even be willing to eat or drink. And you remember, the medication is inside that water. And when they don't drink it, they die. So delaying causes loss of life and profit. What should you do? Just be more attentive. Anytime you enter into your pen house, pay attention to the birds. Look at their physics. Check their normal behavior. Is there any difference? Are they feeding well? Some of them going one side like as if they are shy. What do? Don't go to WhatsApp group, farmers WhatsApp group, and start telling them and asking them for solution. Call your poultry veterinarian. That's why they went to school and studied veterinary medicine, because they are the only people who will help you out in this particular situation. Delays cost life of birds and profit from your pocket. Number 5 mistake that is a silent killer to your broiler poultry farming is not tracking your profit. Most broiler poultry farmers, they raise birds, sell them, and move on as if nothing happened. See, you might be good in selling your birds, but if you don't track your sales very well, you'll be losing out too much. So these are the few mistakes that farmers make. Number 1 is that they don't keep track of their cost of production. Cost of production, you should keep track of everything that you spent in raising the birds from day one. Not even day one. When you start making plans to bring in those birds, there are some expenses that you will certainly make before the arrival of the birds. You should have maybe an Excel file or a paper where you keep track of everything. Okay? So that at the end, you know how much you spent raising the birds. Now, second mistake that most farmers make is that when they're calculating their cost of production, they forget to add the hidden costs. Hidden costs can come in various ways. If something spoils during the raising of those birds, you will certainly fix them. When you fix them, those things are hidden costs. You have to add it to the cost of production. Maybe you bought wood shavings that you used to change the litter material on the floor. It's part of cost of production. You have to add it up. And then, at the end of production, another mistake that most farmers make is that they don't plan their selling price. They just go with what the market is selling. And at the end of the day, that is how a new farmer raised 100 broilers. And at the end, he sold all. At the end, he's saying that he didn't make any profit. Why will you make profit when you are not tracking your production? And also, you are selling based on what you are being pressured to sell at the market rate. You understand? If this market is not pricing you well, you go to the next market. For instance, a small and medium scale poultry farmer has no business going to, if you're in Abuja, you have no business going to places like Kado Market to go and sell your broiler, because those people will underprice you. Now, if you go there and they underprice you and you sell everything to them there, you will definitely not make profit. Then when you come out, you start saying that broiler business is not profitable. It doesn't make sense. People that sell to those kind of markets are people who are large scale, people who raise like over say 15 to 20,000 birds and can afford to dress them and bring them out. You understand? That's the kind of people that can. So don't allow the market pressure you. This market is not buying at a rate that will profit you. Look for other customers, go to the next market. So how do you fix these issues of not tracking your profit? Number one, you should be recording your cost of production. Everything you spend on the birds, put it down. Number two, at the end of all the expenses, let's assume that you raise 100 birds and it costs you, let's roughly say 770,000 naira. Sorry, I'm using naira because I'm a Nigerian. It costs you 770,000 naira to raise those 100 birds. Now what do? You divide the 770,000 naira by the 100 birds. What do you get? You get 7,700. That means it costs you 7,700 naira to raise each of the birds. Now let's assume that you are selling them at 8,700 naira and you successfully sold all the birds. That means you made 1,000 naira profit per bird. That's how you arrange all these things, okay? If you fail to plan, to track your expenses and to track your profits, then there's no room for growth in your poultry farming business. Because if you track it, you've already established room for growth and also to enable you scale your poultry farming business in the future. Now, avoiding just one of these mistakes can save your broiler poultry farming business from these silent killers. Okay, which of these mistakes do you normally make in your farm? Feel free to share with us in the comment section something new that you learned from this video, and also feel free to share this video to fellow farmers so that they would avoid these silent killers in their broiler farming business. That's it for this video, guys. See you next time.